Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to study about the digestive system in a rat. Okay. In our last lecture we have studied a general viscera of a rat. So now we are going to see a digestive system which is placed in a visceral cavity of the rat. Okay. The digestive system of a rat consists of an alimentary canal and a digestive gland. Okay. The alimentary canal is a long coiled tube that will be extending from the mouth till the anus and distinguished into four main parts: buccopharyngeal cavity, that is the oral cavity plus pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and intestine. Okay, so we'll see the first part that in a buccopharyngeal cavity there is an oral cavity plus pharynx are placed. Okay, so it also includes the mouth. Okay, so mouth opens in the buccal cavity that is surrounded by a vestibule, which is a space between the lips, cheek, and teeth. Okay, it is a transverse aperture. The mouth is the transverse aperture which is guarded by two soft and movable lips. Okay, and the upper lip is provided with the cleft in the middle. Then next comes the buccal cavity. Mouth leads to the buccal cavity. The roof of the buccal cavity is formed by a palate. The anterior portion of this palate is called hard palate, and this hard palate separates the mouth cavity with the nasal passage. The floor of the buccal cavity houses the tongue, and at the anterior end of the tongue there is a free and the at the anterior end of the tongue is free. Okay, whereas the posterior end is attached with the floor of the buccal cavity. Okay, followed by this the tongue, we'll just see the tongue is a muscular and a movable, whereas the upper surface of the tongue is a rough, while and it has a numerous papillae or the taste buds. Okay, uh, after the tongue there comes the jaws, are provided with teeth, and this teeth helps in ingesting food. Okay, teeth are either thecodont, heterodont, or diphodont type. The type of teeth we have already studied in our dentition. Remember, dentition in mammals. So there may be different type of teeth, that is thecodont, heterodont, or diphodont. Okay, the next comes next part of the this buccopharyngeal cavity comes the pharynx, the last part, that is pharynx. The dorsal part of the pharynx is called the buccal cavity will leads into another chamber called the pharynx. Okay, and the dorsal part of the pharynx is called nasopharynx, and the ventral part is called as a buccopharynx. Okay, they will be having a paired internal nostrils plus eustachian tubes, Eustachian, eustachian tubes, which will be entering into the nasopharynx region. Okay, whereas at the posterior margin they will be having a soft palate, remember the roof of the buccal cavity, that will be extended into nasopharynx as a velum, velum, velum. Okay, The two sides of the velums are the peculiar lymphoid tissue called as a tonsil. Okay, and there will be a slit called as a glottis, which will be present on the floor of the buccopharynx, just posterior to the tongue. The tongue is a, as we already said that, saw that the tongue is a large elongated muscular organ that will be the covering most of the floor of the mouth cavity or buccal cavity. Okay, then the glottis, which is present on the floor of the buccopharynx at the posterior end of the tongue. This glottis communicates with the respiratory tube and is guarded by a cartilaginous flap called the epiglottis. Okay, whereas posteriorly the buccopharynx opens into the esophagus through a aperture called as a gullet. Okay, so the mouth, buccal cavity and pharynx comes under the one common term is given, that is a buccopharyngeal cavity. Okay, that consists of oral cavity plus pharynx. After pharynx will lead into the posteriorly lead into the esophagus through the aperture called as a gullet. Okay, esophagus is a long tube running along the mid-ventral line of the neck region. It runs through the thoracic region and which opens into the stomach by passing the diaphragm. Okay, followed by esophagus, there comes a stomach. The stomach is a highly muscular and glandular sac, and at the inner side it is a concave. Okay, and this concave side of the stomach is termed as lesser curvature, whereas the outer side or surface of the stomach is convex. So this is the outer side or outer surface of the stomach is convex, so it is termed as a greater curvature. Okay, the end of the stomach towards the esophagus is called as a cardiac end, whereas the opposite to the cardiac end there is a pyloric end. Okay, and you have noticed that the stomach is twisted, so this, due to this twisting, the cardiac end has taken the position towards the left. Yeah, in this picture you can see diagram, the stomach, you can see the stomach. Yeah, the end which is opens or near to the esophagus is called as a cardiac end, whereas the opposite to the cardiac end is the pyloric end, and due to the twisting the cardiac end has been positioned towards the left, no, and the pyloric end has taken the position towards the right in the abdominal cavity. Okay, then the opening of this pyloric end is guarded by a valve called as a pyloric sphincter. Okay, so a pyloric end or stomach at the posterior side opens into the intestine by and this opening is guarded by a valve called as a pyloric sphincter. Okay, then next comes the intestine. Okay, the alimentary canal that is composed of later part is succeeding part is the intestine. There are two intestines, that is a small intestine plus large intestines are present. Okay, the remaining part of the alimentary canal is known as the intestine, and it is divisible into duodenum. First it is divisible into small intestine and large intestine. Okay, the small intestine is comprised of three regions, and it is first is the duodenum, followed first region is the duodenum. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Yeah, the first part of the small intestine or stomach that leads into the small intestine, that part is termed as a duodenum. Okay, this small intestine is a slender coiled tube that receives a partially digested food from the stomach. Student, just remember that the stomach will digest only protein, okay, whereas most of um, the and some amount of carbohydrate is also digested in a stomach. But what happened, the most of the carbohydrate part is already been digested by a salivary gland which is present in the mouth. Okay, during digestive glands we will see that. Okay, but in a small intestine, the protein digestion only will take place. Okay, because carbohydrate digestion is already been carried out, only the absorption of the digested proteins and vitamins and other minerals will take place in the stomach and small intestine. Okay, so the small intestine is a slender coil like tube that will receive a partially digested food from the stomach. Okay, and it is the coils of a and the wall of the small intestine, all the coils of the small intestine are covered by a membrane termed as a mesentery. Okay, the small intestine has a three sections: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay, the duodenum is recognized as the first stretch of the intestine leading from the stomach. Okay, and it is mostly straight, whereas jejunum and ileum are both curly part of the intestine, with ileum being the last section before the small intestine becomes the large intestine. Okay, the next part comes the large intestine. Okay, the large intestine is basically also known as the colon. Okay, colon, colon. Okay, this colon is a large greenish tube that will be extend from the small intestine, and it will leads into the anus. The food that enters the colon from the small intestine is controlled by a ileocecal valve. Okay, and the colon is where the final stage of digestion and water absorption occurs, and this colon will contain a variety of bacteria that will aid in digestion. This colon or the large intestine consists of 5 sections. First is the cecum, then ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon and rectum. Okay, the first is the cecum. Cecum is a large sac where the small and large intestine meet. Okay, and this is the where is the location where ileocecal valve regulates the passage of the materials. Okay, materials means digested foods. Okay, then comes the ascending colon. Food that travels upward is called as a ascending colon, wherein the transverse colon is a short section that is parallel to the diaphragm, whereas a descending colon is the section of a large intestine that travels back down towards the rectum. Okay, And the last part of the digestive system, or the alimentary canal of the rat is the rectum. Rectum is the short terminal section of the colon that leads into the anus. Okay, and the rectum is temporarily stores feces before they are expelled from the body. Okay, and the last I was mistaken, that is the rectum is not a last part of alimentary canal, it is the anus which is the last part of the alimentary canal, and anus is the terminal part of the alimentary canal which is represented by an aperture called anus. Okay, and this anus is guarded by a sphincter muscles. Okay, so we have seen the digestive system in a rat. That also the digestive system of a rat is divided into two, alimentary canal and digestive glands. So we have completed with the alimentary canal. If you have any question regarding this topic, then please let me know. Okay, thank you student.